Can I fund my girlfriend's Sari-sari store and apply as an employee? Hey guys, it's Kevin. It's your visa guy here in the Philippines. And for those of you who don't know, I am a former visa agent. I have been in this industry since or way back 2019. And during my entire career, I have been asked for over probably 1,000 questions from expats all around the world. So today I've gathered 5 unusual questions I was asked about Philippine visas. So stick around, grab a cup of coffee. Let's get down to business. Okay, number one. Will our 30-year age gap disqualify us from applying for the 13A visa? Okay, the answer is no. When you apply for a 13A spousal visa, the age gap isn't really a requirement. There's no age gap requirement. So as long as you're married to a Philippine citizen, then you're good to go. The length of marriage doesn't even matter. Even if you're married a month ago, you can actually apply for a 13A spousal visa as long as you have all the requirements with you. And the requirements for the 13A is actually very easy. All the documents can be obtained here in the Philippines, unlike the SRRV, for example, the classic category where you need to submit a pension document, and that must be from your home country. For the 13A, no, everything can be obtained here, like the marriage certificate if you're married here, the birth certificate of your Philippine spouse, the NBI clearance, all of those stuff, it can be obtained here. Number two, can I get the retirement visa even if I'm not retired? The answer is yes. The SRRV, or the retirement visa, does not really require the applicant to be officially retired. The primary requirement for this visa is the applicant must be at least 50 years old. So it doesn't matter if you have a pension or if you do not. If you have a pension and you qualify for a certain category, you might have a lesser deposit and will be required to submit an additional document. So again, you can apply for a retirement visa even if you're not officially retired. Okay, number three. What happens to my 13A spousal visa if my wife passes away? Okay, God forbid if this happens, but this is the only downside of the 13A. Even though they say it's a permanent visa, it's connected to your marriage here in the Philippines. So even if you're not like divorced or annulled here in the Philippines, but your wife passed away, the marriage is no longer there. So you need to voluntarily cancel your 13A spousal visa. It's not automatic. You need to voluntarily cancel it. The question is, what happens to my visa if my wife passes away? Is there still a way to stay in the Philippines under this visa? The answer is yes. If you and your spouse have a child together, then your child can act as a petitioner for your 13A spousal visa. Therefore, you can stay in the Philippines under the same 13A spousal visa, but your child will be the petitioner at that point. However, if you don't have a child together, then you would have to voluntarily cancel your 13A spousal visa and try to consider other type of visa like the SRRV, or just stay as a tourist and doing visa extensions. Okay, number four. Can I buy a condo instead of putting down a deposit for the SRRV? The answer is no. So whether you buy a condo before or after getting the SRRV, it doesn't really matter, because when you apply for the SRRV, you need to put in the deposit first. You cannot use the benefit of converting the deposit into an active investment, which is real estate. Okay, so there are 2 ways that you can make use of your visa deposit. Like if you want to pull out this money from the bank, there are 2 ways. Number one, a condo that is already built or a ready for occupancy unit. So you really can't use this option one if you don't have the condo title under your name. So technically you have cashed out 2 money already. So one for the SRV, the deposit, and one for the condo. So once you have the condo in your name, you can then apply for a conversion. So what's going to happen is when you apply for a conversion at the PRA office, you will request a letter from the PRA that they will issue, that you will bring to the deeds office here in the Philippines. Now, the deeds office will put a restriction on your condo title that it cannot be sold and it's exclusive to you. Once that restriction is there, you show it to the PRA, and then the PRA will release the deposit to you. So it will be in a form of a check. Okay, number two, pre-selling condos. So this is how it works. you don't need to pay the entire amount in full. You leave out a balance equivalent to the amount of deposit that you have with your SRRV. So when you process the conversion at the PRA office, they will issue the 20,000 USD payable to the developer of the condominium that you just bought. So once everything is done, there will still be a restriction on your condominium. So either way, it's either they have the deposit or they will restrict your property. Just a quick reminder, the value of the property must be at least 50,000 USD. So if it goes below that, it's not qualified. Okay, number 5. Can I fund my girlfriend's Sari-sari store and apply as an employee? Can I then get a long-term working visa? The answer is no and no. So in simple terms, working visa in the Philippines is called 9G working visa. So the types of work that you can have in the Philippines are the ones that the Filipinos cannot do, right? And if you're an employee for Sari-sari store, every Filipino can do that, right? So that is a simple way of explaining how the 9G working visa works. When you apply for a 9G working visa in the Philippines, you need to deal with 2 government offices. The first one that you will deal with is the Department of Labor and Employment. In that office, you will get an alien employment permit. And the maximum that you can get is only 3 years. And once you have that permit, then you can proceed to the Bureau of Immigration to get the working visa. Now, depending on how long the permit is valid, that would be the same with your 9G working visa. For example, if you applied for a 2-year working permit, then you'll also have the same validity on your working visa. So by the time that you need to renew your working visa and permit, it's going to be the same process all over again. For example, like getting a new employment contract from your company. Also, when you apply for a 9G working visa in the Philippines, you have 3 options. You could get 1, 2, or 3-year visa validity for your 9G, and it's a multiple entry visa in the Philippines. So you can exit the country and come back and still have the same visa. And that is it, guys. Those are 5 questions, and believe me, I still have more from where it came from. But I want to hear it from your side. If you have questions about immigration related stuff in the Philippines, let me know in the comment section, or you can email me at vin.philippines@gmail.com. And also, if you're interested in applying for the 13A or the SRRV, I still have the ebook that you can download for free. Links in the description. So anyway, like, share, subscribe, and I'll see you on my next video. Peace.